What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So once again, another comparison, this time a different setup, a different desk. I was kind of sick and tired of that bright tan one, it's kind of annoying now. But this time we're going to be comparing the newly released iPhone 11, tremendous phone in my opinion. Apple dropped the price on this base model, which is super cool, coming from the iPhone XR, compared to a phone that Apple doesn't sell anymore. And obviously the iPhone 11 is more better than, but I feel like a lot of people still own this phone, the legendary iPhone 6s. Now, as you guys know, I have so much love for the 6s, but ever since owning the XR, I kind of hated it at first, but then I kind of grew into like it. And now I like the XR, and now I even like the iPhone 11 even more because it is a better phone than that. But how do they stack up? Obviously, like I stated before, the iPhone 11 is the better phone. Any way you look at it, it is the better phone. But I want to see how much better of a phone the iPhone 11 is. Now, yesterday, I compared the 6s to the iPhone 11 Pro, and that one was a pretty big difference. So I want to see the same thing here. If you currently own the 6s, should you go update to the iPhone 11? Are there other phones in the market that can kind of give you a similar experience? All that good stuff. But before I get too far into this video, I want to tell you I'm still doing an iPhone XR giveaway. I'm giving one of these away to one of you guys randomly. If you want to enter, click the second, third, fourth link in the description. It'll say free iPhone XR giveaway. Click that video link. It'll take you to a video. Watch that video. It's like 3 minutes long. It'll explain exactly how to enter. The giveaway ends in like a week or two, so make sure you enter soon so you don't miss that giveaway. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to you guys. That's why the giveaway is going on. I should have another giveaway coming out soon that's going to be bigger than this, so stay tuned for that. But looking at the front, you can immediately see there is quite a bit of difference. I will tell you, yes, the iPhone 11 is the bigger phone, but when you're feeling them in the hand, I don't see it being a humongous difference. There definitely is, but I know a lot of people are, I guess, scared to go to an 11, but I have pretty small hands. You guys can make fun of me. You guys already do, but I think for sure, it's not a humongously sized difference. It's not like you're going from a 6S to a Pro Max, which is bigger than this, but it's definitely a noticeable increase, but not that much as you might think. The thickness, however, is a little bit more noticeable, but I'll get into that in a second. Looking on the front, you have a 4.7-inch IPS panel on the iPhone 6s, but a 6.1-inch IPS panel on the iPhone 11. Now, believe it or not, the pixels per inch, the screen density is the same on both, but the iPhone 11 will have the better screen because of that True Tone display, but also because of the notch. You have a bezel-less kind of design. Well, you have a lot of bezel on the iPhone 11, but you have less bezel compared to a phone like an iPhone 6s. So even though technically speaking, the iPhone 11 is the design that's a little bit more thicker than the 11 Pro or 11 Pro Max, the 6s still looks super outdated compared to it. So that's pretty much that on the front. Obviously, the home button on the 6s and Face ID on the iPhone 11. Looking at the thickness, this is probably where the bigger difference is. As you guys can see, and I'll zoom in, there is a pretty big difference in terms of the thickness. I think this is where the biggest heft especially comes in weight, but you have a bigger battery in the iPhone 11, so it kind of makes sense. But that's pretty much it for the side. You have the same button placement on both. Looking on the back, you can see you have a glass back on the iPhone 11, but the aluminum kind of metal feeling on the iPhone 6s. But in reality, I would always prefer the glass back because it feels so much better. It makes the phone feel way more premium. But the 6s, I don't know. It's definitely, old feeling a little bit, but it doesn't feel like a cheap phone. I think we've become accustomed to the glass backs. Now they're kind of getting used to it. So feeling something like this feels kind of like a different new type of design, even though it's older. Obviously, the dual camera setup on the iPhone 11, single camera setup on the iPhone 6s. And that's pretty much it. Biggest difference probably is on the bottom. You have a headphone jack on the iPhone 6s. You have lightning port only on the iPhone 11. You have lightning ports on both, but the headphone jack on the 6s. So if you're into it, that's awesome. If you're not, then I guess that doesn't really matter. I used to care, but I don't really care anymore, to be honest. So that's pretty much it in terms of the outside. Now hitting on the software, this is where another huge thing for the 6s, where the iPhone 11 kind of beats it in, So the 6s was released many years ago in 2015. It started off with iOS 9. Right now it's going to be getting all of iOS 13, so it's still good for up until June 2020. But I don't know how much further it's going to go, to be honest. It could end, at iOS 13. It could potentially get iOS 14, but I have no idea. There's no way to verify this, but if I had to guess, I would probably say it's going to end on iOS 13. I know it's kind of sad, but I have to do a little bit more research. But either way you look at it, whether it gets iOS 14 or not, the iPhone 11 is going to outlast the 6s any way you look at it. This phone is just getting started. iOS 13 just came out. It's going to be getting all those updates. It's going to be getting iOS 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know how many more numbers, but it's going to be getting a lot more versions of iOS than the iPhone 6s. So It's a sad thing for the 6S, but a very good thing for the iPhone 11. When you're getting an upgrade for a phone, you want it to be getting more updates. So I'm really happy for the iPhone 11. For 6S users, I'm sad, but I guess it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So that pretty much covers it up in terms of the outside and the software. Let's go and hit on these. I'll do a speed comparison right now just to make you guys happy. I'll tell you the specs though. Inside, the iPhone 6S has the Apple A9 chip, a dual-core CPU, and 2 GB of RAM. This was the first phone to bring 2 GB of RAM on the iPhone, so it wasn't the first phone ever to bring 2 gigs, but it was the first iPhone to bring 2 GB of RAM. Well, the iPhone 11 has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, a hexa-core CPU, and 4 GB of RAM, so pretty big difference in terms of the specs, but will those specs justify the speed increase? Hopefully there is. Obviously, I'm probably going to tell you the iPhone 11 will be the faster phone, but you never know, so let's go and see which one is the fast one between these two. Alright, we back. Now clearing out all the apps in the background, you can see we have we have all the same apps on both, so let's go and see what's up. Let's do Facebook, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, iPhone 11 much faster there. SoundCloud, 3, 2, 1. And again, iPhone 6S much faster. iPhone 11 so much faster. This one took forever to load for some reason. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And you can see, man, huge difference in terms of the speed. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm not going to say the iPhone 6S is a billion times slower, but you can tell there's a pretty big difference. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. As you can see, iPhone 11 much, much faster. Netflix, 3, 2, 1. Again, iPhone 11 is much faster. Bofa, 3, 2, 1. And again, look at that, dude. Crazy difference between them. It's just like, even for basic apps like this, you can see a huge difference. Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. And this is where I'm most excited about to see the difference, because iPhone 11, this is a basic game. Temple Run is not crazy. You can run this on like an iPhone 4S or even iPhone 4. And look at this. Even an app like this, you can see a huge difference. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. Pretty big difference for a basic app. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. And again, this one not so much noticeable, but still pretty big difference. Thank you, 3, 2, 1. And again, thank you, faster on the iPhone 11. Getting you to some gameplay. Again, like I always say, it's completely the same. It's a basic game, but Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 is faster. Let's see if I can get into some gameplay. Let's see if it stutters at all. And they seem to be almost the same. You guys might be able to tell better over the camera, but yeah, they're about the same. Paper Out 2, 3, 2, 1. And again, look at that difference. And let's see if we get a pop-up here. Nope. Let's get into some gameplay. Let's see if, you can tell immediately how much glitchier it is on the iPhone 6S than on the iPhone 11. It's a pretty big difference in my opinion. Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. And again, we're already loaded on the iPhone 11. And as you can see, we have some pop-up here, but still it was so much faster. It wasn't even funny. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see iPhone 11 so much faster. The 6S is still loading. Will we be still loading while that's Yep, so iPhone 11 fully completely loaded. iPhone 6S. Guys, do you even like my commentary? Should I even keep talking or should I just not talk when I'm doing this? Let's get into some gameplay. You guys already know. This isn't that crazily intensive of a game, but I don't know. It seems to be almost the same. Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 is fully loaded now, and iPhone 6S shortly after, but not by much. Let's go and show you guys the benchmark score between them, and you guys will be able to tell 147,000 on the iPhone 6S, 450,000 on the iPhone 11. Now what I can tell you is this, okay? The iPhone 11 is definitely the faster phone, but I don't know, I think the 6S is still usable. I think it's still a tremendous phone for the price because, like I said, this is a brand new phone. It isn't even that expensive, $699. But you can pick up one of these for $100. Are you getting 6 or 7 times the performance? No, but you're getting a way noticeable increase. So without a doubt, iPhone 11 truly deserves the title of the faster phone between these two, which is probably not surprising to many of you. Now let's go ahead and look at the cameras between them. The iPhone 6s has a single 12 megapixel sensor. The iPhone 11 has a dual 12 megapixel sensor. Now, not only are these sensors better on the iPhone 11, they're also bigger in size, which is kind of cool. Maybe more whatever features, I don't know. But the iPhone 11 has the secondary lens, which isn't a telephoto lens, but it is an ultra-wide sensor, which some people say the telephoto lens is worse than the ultra-wide, like they would rather have ultra-wide than telephoto, but I'm kind of the opposite, I don't know. But looking at the quality between them, you can tell that the iPhone 6s isn't bad. I mean, like, it's still good. You can still shoot 4K videos. You still have, like autofocus, things like that. I mean, it's fully functional. Like, it completely works. It doesn't have portrait mode. It doesn't have the telephoto lens. It doesn't have ultra wide. It doesn't have night mode. It doesn't have a lot of features that the newer iPhones have. So even though the core features are still the same on both, you can tell that the iPhone 11 will definitely be better. And even just looking at the quality, I mean, you can tell, dude, like, not only, like I said, you don't have that telephoto lens, but you have that ultra-wide sensor, which a lot of people might like, they might not. You can see my legs, you can see my feet. Some people like it, some people don't, but regardless, you have that capability. You also have portrait mode, you have 4K 60 frames, you have a lot of cool features that the 6S just doesn't have, which is understandable because it is a much older phone, but it is one more thing to kind of add on to the iPhone 11 experience and the advantages of using it. So without a doubt, the iPhone 11 is the better camera. Now, hitting on the battery size, this is the last thing I'm going to hit on. Definitely, without a doubt, the iPhone 11 has the better battery life. So one cool thing, it's kind of an advantage of having a lower resolution display on the iPhone 11, is that because it does have a low resolution display, it doesn't really use too much power to push those pixels on the screen. So this one has about a 3000 mAh battery. This one, is much, much smaller than that. I think this one's at like 1600 or something, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. The thing to keep in mind is if you're getting a used one, this battery has probably degraded over time. So with that being said, this one's not at that full whatever it is, it's probably less than that. But without a doubt, the battery life will be substantially better on the iPhone 11 than on the iPhone 6s. So to kind of sum up this whole entire comparison, dude, like without a doubt, the iPhone 11 is the better phone by far. It can do so much more. It's a better speed phone. It's more powerful, has more RAM, better cameras. Software support's going to be prolonged the iPhone 6s. So I don't think anybody's here trying to tell me the 6s is the better phone, and I'm not trying to say that. However, what I am trying to say is that for $699, you can do, I think, a lot more in the used market than you can for the brand new market. So even though the iPhone 11 is, $699 for a brand new device, that's a pretty decent price for this phone. However, if you currently own an iPhone 6s or you own a phone that's kind of like this, going from a 6s to an iPhone 10 or even an iPhone 10R is also a pretty big speed increase. So what I'll tell you is like this: if you go get a used iPhone 10 or iPhone 10 or even a used iPhone 10s, you'll be probably spending less money on those phones than if you were to go and buy a brand new one of these. So obviously the 10R will probably be the cheapest one in the used market. You can probably get one for like $450 or something, but ultimately I think going from an iPhone 6s to an iPhone 11, huge upgrade, but also going from a 6s to like a 10 or a 10, like I said, is also a pretty big upgrade too. So that's pretty much it. You guys can go make up your mind now. I'll go ahead and link the cheapest 10, 10R, and 10S that I find on Amazon in the description below, so you guys can go find them and get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that will mean so much. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.